Altamont will be the designated visiting team. So their starting lineup will be first.
And starting for Altamont will be Alyssa Abbott with number 3 on her jersey. Number 24, Shelby O'Briscoe. Number 23, Emery Maxfield. Number 13, Gracie Gardner. And then number 15, Taylor Norman, as Altamont has red and white jerseys on with white and black words and numbers.
Now moving to the starting lineup for the North Summit Braves, the designated home team. Wearing number 10 and playing center, Brecklin Murdoch. Wearing number 25, Kyrie Langston, playing power forward. Wearing number 1, Grace Crystal, playing shooting guard. And here's Brecklin Murdoch now. And then wearing number 21, your small forward, Hannah Lehman. And here's Kyrie Langston. And then wearing number 12, your point guard, Kenny McQueen. So there's your starting lineups for both teams. North Summit wearing the home white jerseys, purple numbers, gold letters. So we'll get the game started here shortly. North Summit Braves and the Altamont Longhorns. And what are you seeing in this game from both teams?
Well, after last night's game against Enterprise, North Summit really needs to get Kennedy McQueen in her groove. They need to get her scoring, because that was a very, I guess, downfall for the Braves, as she only got a few points all night. So they really need to get her going. And then Altamont needs to play like they did in their first half of their game on last night against Beaver.
Yeah, they looked
really
very
well.
good against Beaver, one of the better teams in the state. And I was really impressed how they played the first half. So we are underway here. North Summit winning the opening tip, and Kenny McQueen with the ball for the Braves. As Grace Crystal now, Kyrie Langston in the corner. Back up to McQueen, and it's intercepted by Abbott. She gives to Maxfield. Emery Maxfield, only a freshman, Altamont's best player, according to the stat sheet. And a shot missed here, rebounded by McQueen. McQueen pushing quickly, puts up a shot, gets fouled, and it goes in. She's gonna go to the line and look for one more. So Kenny McQueen opens up the scoring now, 2-0. Misses the free throw, and Shelby O'Driscoll gets charged with her first. Rebound goes out of bounds after the missed free throw. Off of North Summit, so it's Altamont ball, as Gracie Gardner has it. Looking over to O'Driscoll, and then goes out of bounds off of Altamont. So it's gonna go back to the Braves. Kenny McQueen bringing it up the floor. Hannah Lehman on the wing. Back to McQueen. Grace Crystal, Lehman. McQueen, three-pointer on the way. No good. So as you said, North Summit needing to get McQueen involved, and she's taking the first few shots here at the start of the game. Gotta like what you're seeing there. Now Altamont with the ball. This is Gardner shooting the jumper, no good, and rebounded by Hannah Lehman. Kenny McQueen. Back to Hannah Lehman. Now Kenny McQueen again in the corner, three-pointer, no good. And something North Summit really struggled with last night was getting the three ball to go down against Enterprise. Grace Crystal, McQueen. Grace Crystal back to McQueen. Skip pass, Hannah Lehman, her three. This is good. North Summit is up 5-0. 6:20 left in the first, as Altamont with O'Driscoll in the corner, passes to Hannah Lehman, and it's a steal for the Braves. Kenny McQueen on the fast break with Murdoch, takes it herself, misses a shot. Langston comes in for the rebound, muscles up a shot, and she is fouled. She's gonna go to the line and shoot two.
Braves already looking pretty good from coming off that loss, as they're up 5-0. Very good thing for the Braves.
First free throw is made.
Number 21 comes in for the Longhorns, Madison Zeman.
So both free throws are good. Make it 7-0 now. 6 minutes left in the first as Grace Crystal comes away with a steal. Kyrie Langston gives to McQueen. McQueen down to Murdoch, and she gets called for the travel there. Had a good shot. Took too many steps to get it, though. So the ball back to Altamont. And the Longhorns still looking for their first points of this game as this pass is knocked out of bounds by Langston, so it's going to stay with Altamont. Zeman to inbound. A very, very young team for Altamont. Only 2 seniors on the lineup with 4 sophomores and 6 freshmen. And those freshmen and sophomores see the floor quite a bit. So a young team that is getting some valuable experience on this level that is poised to be better in the coming years for sure.
There's a very big threat, I would think, in the next coming years, is they will have more experience than other teams for the next 4 years.
So it's ball back to Altamont after the North Summit turnover as Gardner double teamed, trying to pass out of it, and a foul is called. First foul on the Lady Braves of the game as they call it on Hannah Lehman. That is her first, as it's Altamont ball and a tie-up here. Alyssa Abbott and McQueen get tied up and jump ball pointing towards Altamont. As we'll have a quick break here for Emery Maxfield to tie her shoe. And they will get into Maxfield as she takes off and now dumps it to Abbott. Number 15, Taylor Norman, has it taken away from her by Brecla Murdoch. Now Kenny McQueen leading the break, backs it up, now gives to Langston. Down low, Murdoch, good pass. She got blocked though by Norman, and a fight for the rebound is going to be called jump ball, and it's going to stay with the Lady Braves.
Number 11 comes in for the Longhorns, Cassidy Rasmussen.
So it looks like we're going to have a timeout before the inbound pass. Going to be a 30-second timeout taken by Altamont. So a quick break here in the action with 4:51 left in the first, score 7-0. Coming back in out of the timeout, it'll be North Summit ball underneath the basket. Grace Crystal to inbound. As North Summit is stacked and they like to lob it to Murdoch, and that's just what they do, and she gets 2 points. As it is now 9-0. As we have a warning on North Summit for after the play, probably hitting the ball. As this pass is knocked out of bounds, and they'll say it's off of Altamont. So it'll go back to North Summit. And Altamont still looking to get on the board here. Almost just a little over halfway through this first quarter. As North Summit getting a shot with Kyrie Langston, and it is 11-0. 3 North Summit players set to check in at the next dead ball. As Altamont with Maxfield. And she dumps it off to Zeman, and a good pass. And she makes it. She's going to the line after she was fouled. Looking to complete the 3-point play, and a good way to start the scoring if you're Altamont.
Yes, it could give them a little bit of momentum and get them a few more points on the board.
So
But
Gracie,
the Braves are doing really well getting their offense going. Unlike yesterday, their offense was not their strong point. Defense was very much their strong point as she makes the free throw.
Gracie Watterson and Hadley Richens and Alyssa Richens have checked in for the Braves. And North Summit now with the ball as Kenny McQueen has it. Alyssa Richens. Brecla Murdoch on the baseline, driving inside, long on the shot, and rebounded by Gardner. Gracie Gardner with it for Altamont. And now Maxfield to Zeman. Zeman just made a shot from right there. She misses this one, though, as the rebound is tracked down by Maxfield. Down low, Abbott lost the ball out of bounds, so it's going to go to North Summit. Melissa Richens to inbound it to Kenny McQueen. As North Summit playing with a little bit of a slow pace here after they started off the game really quick and have this lead as Gracie Watterson bounces it off of Murdoch's face and it goes out of bounds back to Altamont.
Aspen Mitchell comes in for the Longhorns with number 10 on her jersey.
As it is Altamont ball now, and Maxfield with it. Over to Mitchell, back to Maxfield. Free throw line to Zeman. Mitchell, jumper, short, and rebound to Hadley Richens. Hadley Richens pushing up to McQueen. McQueen puts it on the floor, and she's gonna get called for a charge. Going the other way. Her first foul. North Summit now with 3. As Maxfield gives it to Mitchell, and she gets tied up. Now Hadley Richens coming with the ball up to McQueen. McQueen all by herself along with Alyssa Richens, and gets 2 easy points. North Summit up by 10, 13-3. As it is now Altamont ball with Gardner. Mitchell looking to Rasmussen, back up to Mitchell. Over to Gardner, her post jumper is good. 13-5 now the score. As Alyssa Richens has it in the corner, gives it back to McQueen. McQueen calls for the screen from Watterson. Pops a 3, no good on it, and rebounded by Watterson. Watterson goes back up with it. She can't get her shot to go. Murdoch pulls down the rebound. Falls to the ground as she shoots, and Alyssa Richens, her putback is good. They're gonna wave it off though, as they get Alyssa Richens for the offensive foul on the rebound. So Tisha Richens checks in for Brecla Murdoch.
24 O'Briscoe comes in for the Longhorns as well.
As it is Altamont ball, O'Driscoll passes it away, trying to find Mitchell. Kenny McQueen taking it away from her. She goes up against Mitchell, can't get the layup to go, the ball out of bounds on the rebound, and they'll say it's off of Altamont as Kenny Garfield now checks in for North Summit. As these are your JV starters, so you got your whole bench in the game now for North Summit. As Hadley Richens gets the inbounds pass, goes over to Garfield. Back to Hadley. Now Alyssa putting it on the floor into the paint, dishes it off to Gracie Watterson, trying to get it back to Alyssa Richens. It's finds its way to Garfield, and her shot off the mark. Now Mitchell coming away with it for Altamont. Gives it to Gardner. Gardner brings in the pass, dumps it to Rasmussen. Her pass deflected away as Hadley Richens was going to keep it in bounds. Couldn't get to it though. So it is going to be Altamont ball. Number 15, Taylor Norman, coming into the game for Altamont, along with number 3, Alyssa Abbott. Maxfield with the ball for the Longhorns. 13-5 the score, as here's a foul. Hadley Richens getting called for it. Team fouls of 5 for North Summit now, as Hadley picks up her first. Zeman gets the inbounds pass, drives the baseline, and gets it knocked out of her hand, so it's going to stay Altamont ball. Alyssa Abbott to inbound as she throws it away to Gracie Watterson. And now Kenny Garfield with the ball for the Braves. Alyssa Richens looking down low to Tisha, and Alyssa Abbott takes it away. Now it's Mitchell. Her pass, or her dribble taken away, and Maxfield coming away with it after it's all said and done as she looks to Zeman. Zeman can't get the layup to go. Rebound bounced around, and a foul is going to be called. As they get Tisha Richens for the foul. Her first, 6th team foul now on Altamont. On North Summit. As Altamont inbounds it to Norman, she lost it, but Zeman comes away with it. Her shot no good, and Alyssa Richens saves it into Tisha Richens. Kenny Garfield now with it. Garfield picks up her dribble, trying to go over to Alyssa Richens. Now back to Garfield. Garfield in the corner, 40 seconds left here in the first quarter. This pass tipped out of bounds by Altamont, so it's going to stay North Summit ball. Garfield over to Alyssa Richens. Down low, Tisha Richens couldn't bring the pass in, so it's going to go back to the Longhorns.
The Braves offense really starting to look good for them, as they're up by 8 right now.
Abbott over to Mitchell, and she gets called for the travel. So it's going to go back to North Summit. Sub coming in for Altamont, number 13, Gracie Gardner. .22 seconds left in the first quarter as North Summit with the ball. And another turnover for the Braves, as neither team can really get on the board here this last minute or so. Lots of passes going out of bounds, and not very many shots being taken. As it is Altamont ball with Maxfield. Now Abbott back to Maxfield. Gardner to Maxfield, and then Taylor Norman at the free throw line gives it to Abbott. Her shot at the buzzer, no good, and that's how the first quarter will come to an end. Score is 13-5 for the Lady Braves. As we move into the second quarter, North Summit leading by 8. What are you seeing so far here, Carson?
The Braves are really getting their offense going compared to last night. Longhorns doing okay against this Braves offense. They have pretty good defense. The Braves defense is keeping them on their toes. A lot of passes going out of bounds because of just miscommunication.
So I have to see what happens here in the second quarter, if it's more of the same. Not very many shots being taken there towards the end of the first quarter. We'll have to see if the offenses do pick up here, as it is an 8-point lead for North Summit. Winner moving on to play Wasatch Academy for 5th place tomorrow at 10. Loser done for the season, as North Summit comes out with their same 5 that they ended the first quarter with. And Altamont checking in Cassidy Rasmussen. So Altamont starting with the ball in the second quarter, as it'll be Zeman over to Maxfield. She lost it and stepped out of bounds. So it's gonna be North Summit ball. Garfield will bring it up, as she gets a screen from Tisha Richens over to Gracie Watterson. Hadley Richens comes off of the Watterson screen. Now it's Alyssa Richens. Hadley gonna reset the offense and get a play call from Coach Jerry Holmes. As Watterson has it. Hadley over to Kennedy. Three-pointer on the way, and this is good. 16-5 now. Kenny Garfield with the three-pointer. As Altamont looking to answer on the other end. Maddie Zeman driving in. Her shot, no good, but a foul is called. As Tisha Richens gets called for the foul. Another look here at the Garfield three-pointer, as that is a good stroke from the outside. And Zeman, first free throw, no good. She'll have one more. As North Summit leads it by 11 with 7:07 left in the second. No good on either free throw, so that's where the score will stay. As Alyssa Richens looks down low to Tisha, and she gets two more for the Braves now. North Summit starting five set to check back in here on the next dead ball. As it'll be Zeman to Rasmussen at the high post, driving inside, lost it to Tisha Richens. Tisha Richens coming away with it, and a foul is called on Altamont. Number 13, Gracie Gardner, getting called for the foul. Her first. Altamont's third team foul. North Summit at 17 fouls, so a little bit of a difference there. Altamont is in the bonus. As North Summit starting five back in. As this will be Langston in the corner. Back up to McQueen. Hannah Lehman to Grace Crystal, looking baseline to Murdoch. Back up to Lehman. Lehman skip pass in the corner. McQueen will dribble out of the corner, stop at the free throw line, give to Grace Crystal in the corner, and her three is good. So it is now 21-5 after a Garfield and Crystal three-pointers. And it is Altamont ball. Zeman to Gardner. Gardner's gonna start to dribble and set up a play here. As this is Zeman. She stops and fires a jumper that is off the mark, and Maxfield trying to save it inbounds. Stepped on the line.
Into the game for Altamont.
As North Summit getting back-to-back threes to take this 21-5 lead. Under 6 minutes to play until halftime, as it is North Summit ball. Hannah Lehman, and a whistle away from the play here. Number 25, Kyrie Langston, getting called for the moving screen. So we'll go back to Altamont. As Hannah Lehman trying to come up with a steal. Gardner has it though. She tries to throw it away, and Hannah Lehman out of bounds with it. So it'll be Altamont ball. Gardner to inbound. As she gets it into Maxfield. Maxfield, her pass intercepted by Langston. Now Kenny McQueen down the other way. One-on-one with Gardner, missed the shot, but a late foul coming. And this will send Kenny McQueen to the line, shooting two.
Braves' three-point game, as we've mentioned, has been a lot better today than last night. As I can only recall, one three-pointer, and that was made by Kenny McQueen near the end of the game.
Yes, they did struggle from behind the arc. But they were in that game through and through. Would have been nice to have a few more threes go down, though, that's for sure. So the ball staying, is going back to North Summit after this turnover. Score is 22-5. As Kenny McQueen will have it. Gets a screen from Brecklin Murdoch. Back to Langston now. Lehman on the wing. Grace Crystal. Looking in the corner to McQueen, wasn't there though, so she goes back to Lehman. Now Crystal, McQueen, Hannah Lehman, Kyrie Langston, Grace Crystal. And back to Grace Crystal from Hannah Lehman. Another three for Grace Crystal. Goes down 25-5.
Second three for Crystal from pretty much the same spot, so she's doing pretty good from right there on the outside.
Altamont with it. Maxfield over to Abbott. And a foul going to be called on Kyrie Langston here. She bumped into her on the pass. Another look at the Crystal three. This one a little deeper than the first one. Behind the college arc. as North Summit leads it by 5. And Alyssa Abbott is at the line. Shelby O'Driscoll just checked back in for Altamont. And Abbott gets the free throw to go. 9 team fouls now for North Summit. Kyrie Langston has her second, and she got in a lot of foul trouble last night. Didn't see her in very much of the game. As Kenny McQueen has the ball. Looking down low to Langston. This pass too high, out of bounds. Back to Altamont, 25-7, as we have a timeout taken by Altamont. Almost halfway through this second quarter. Halftime approaching quickly. And what are you thinking here, Carson?
They need to, Altamont, if they want to get back in this game, they need to clean up on their passes. There's been quite a few passes that have just slipped away for them, and North Summit's got the steal, or it'll just go out, and turnovers are a big part in this game for Altamont.
Some of the most important diagnostic tools in medicine today are in the radiology department. At Ashley Regional Medical Center, there are many modalities to choose from: CAT scans, nuclear medicine, MRI, 4D ultrasound, digital mammography, bone density scanning, and a totally digital format. The technicians at Ashley Regional are highly trained and are well known for their great customer service skills. If you need an x-ray of any kind, ask your physician to send you to Ashley Regional Medical Center for quality results.
Back out of timeout, Altamont ball, as the score is 25-7, 4:20 until halftime. As here's another steal from Murdoch, as Kenny McQueen gives it to her, and Murdoch gets 2 easy points. So we just said in that timeout, Altamont needing to clean up the passes, cut down on the turnovers, and they can get back into this game. But that did not help, as here's another turnover. And I agree, if Altamont can clean up these turnovers, they would probably be in this game more, because North Summit is getting so many points off of turnovers that it's really hurting the Longhorns. As Hannah Lehman has the ball, Grace Crystal. Now back to Lehman. Grace Crystal, Murdoch, McQueen for 3, no good. And looks like this ball will go out of bounds. And a foul is going to be called as well. Kyrie Langston picking up her 3rd. North Summit now double-digit fouls. So Shelby O'Driscoll will be at the line. O'Driscoll and Sarah Moore, who we have not seen in this game. The only 2 seniors on this Altamont lineup. And we touched on that before, a very young team, but a lot of promising talent coming up for these Longhorns in the next few years, and getting some valuable experience here being so young, as Altamont is blocked by Gracie Watterson, and the ball goes out of bounds off of North Summit. Madison Zeman checks in for Altamont, and Abbott to inbound. She gets it into Maxfield. Maxfield floater no good, and Gracie Watterson lets it go out of bounds. North Summit ball with 3:19 left here in the second. North Summit has it with McQueen. Grace Crystal, Lehman, back up to McQueen. Looking inside to Murdoch. She puts it on the floor and gets called for the travel. So it's going to be Altamont ball.
For the Braves, in come Hadley Richens and Alyssa Richens. For Crystal and Lehman.
So it'll be Altamont ball. Alyssa Abbott driving, pulls up and hits. As she banked that one in. Altamont now hitting double digits, 27-10 the score. North Summit with a 17-point lead, as a good pass by McQueen to Murdoch. And one of the great combinations we've seen this season is those two, as we did not see that combination last night against Enterprise. McQueen was really limited in what she could do on offense without Enterprise's good defense. So something that you gotta like to see as you get another look at it coming off the screen and dishing down to McQueen, just wide open. Great pick and roll action there by the Lady Braves as Kennedy Garfield and Tisha Richens check in.
As you were talking about, we never really saw the combination between Brooklyn Murdoch and McQueen yesterday because Caitlin Miller was all over McQueen yesterday. Had her stopped before everything she did. So it's good to see that she has found a way to get through defenses.
And a very efficient defensive team as number 23, Emery Maxfield, hits a 3, and that one was from way out there. So that makes it 31-12 now. As Gracie Watterson to Garfield. And yeah, Enterprise, a very efficient defensive team. I think that'll be a great matchup with Beaver and Enterprise, as that will determine who goes to that state championship game to play either Kanab and Millard, and an all Region 18 semifinal. So great job there for Region 18, as they got 4 teams. So their Region 18 definitely going to be bringing home a state title no matter who it is, as North Summit comes away with the ball, and Hadley Richards loses it out of bounds, but they say off of Altamont. As number 13, Gracie Gardner, will check in. And Alyssa Abbott to the bench. Alyssa Richens inbounding to Hadley Richens. Tisha Richens now with 1:05 left until halftime. No good on the shot, rebound. She comes away with it. And it'll be Hadley Richens. Garfield back to Hadley as North Summit sets up a play here. Alyssa to Garfield. Hadley, and her pass down low, knocked out of bounds by Cassidy Rasmussen. And number 10, Aspen Mitchell, checking in for Altamont. Maddie Zeman to the bench. As this is Garfield in the corner. We've seen her hit a 3, and this one off the mark. Rebounded by Tisha Richens. No good on the shot. Gracie Watterson gets the rebound, gets blocked by Rasmussen. And now pushing is Taylor Norman. Norman gets the ball knocked out of her hands, and it's going to stay with Altamont. Good defense there by the Braves, as Aspen Mitchell will inbound it. Mitchell gets it into Gardner. Taylor Norman back to Mitchell, her 3. No good, and rebound pulled down by Watterson, and it looks like we're gonna have a foul on the rebound. Number 13, Gracie Gardner, gets called for her 3rd, as she has more than half of the 5 Altamont team fouls here in the half. And Altamont has done well to stay out of foul trouble in this half. Only 5, not putting North Summit at the line very often, as they've done well at that. Gracie Watterson at the free throw line, goes to Garfield. She's driving, baseline, gets blocked, and that's 2 blocks in a row that we've seen. Now Tisha Richens comes away with a steal. Garfield wide open underneath, 2 points. As the half is winding down here, Maxfield at the buzzer, and that would have counted if it would have went. It was close too. So we will head to halftime. North Summit leading at 33-12 over the Altamont Longhorns. Winner of this game advancing to play Wasatch Academy tomorrow at 10 a.m. for 5th and 6th. As we will take a short break, and we'll be right back here.
At Strata Networks, we believe that today's children are tomorrow's future. Each year, we award nearly $50,000 in scholarships to graduating seniors, sponsor a group of juniors to attend the UREA Youth Leadership Challenge at Snow College, and send a group of students to explore Washington, D.C. as part of the FRS Youth Tour. This year, one of those students could be you. Apply now for scholarships and youth programs at stratanetworks.com.
Founded in 1946 by the Savage family with a single truck, today, Savage is the leader in supply chain management solutions that are tailored to meet the needs of our customers across a variety of industries. We are a proud sponsor of high school sports coverage and the community here in the Uinta Basin.
Back here at the Sphere Valley Center, 5 minutes until we get the second half started here between Altamont Longhorns and the North Summit Braves. Right now, North Summit leading it 33-12 as they have the big lead over Altamont. And if you're North Summit, how do you continue just to keep things going how they're going?
Just keep the offense going on the same rhythm that they have. Just keep getting down low, get the points, easy points. Not really. I mean, you can pull up because if you don't get points on a drive, it's not the end of the world for them. But just keep getting points.
And then if you're Altamont, you're down by 21. You're having a few turnovers that are really hurting you on the offensive side of the ball, creating a lot of points for North Summit. What do you got to do here in the second half to kind of clean up those turnovers and get back into this game a little bit?
I think it's just keep your head there. Keep your head right there in the game. Got to think about passes. Don't try to force a pass to where where people are right there next to them. Because steals have been a very big part of this game. So.
And I think that's a good strategy coming in. North Summit just making their way back onto the floor. 3:20 left until we get the second half started. Altamont still yet to be on the floor. As we said, only the second game of today. many more games on the slate. After this game, we're going to switch over to boys' games as the consolations for the boys get started with Altamont and Enterprise at 12:50, and then Roland Hall and North Summit at 2:30. After those consolation games, we go back to the girls' side to play the semifinal games with Beaver and Enterprise at 4:10 and Kanab and Millard at 5:50. Then we'll go back to the boys' side, play those semifinal games. 7:30 is Beaver and Layton Christian, and 9:10 is Duchesne and Parowan. So a full slate of games here going on all day long, just like yesterday. As this is only the first of few, so stay tuned. Many more games today. As North Summit looking really good in this one, coming off that heartbreaking loss against Enterprise. Caitlin Miller hitting the shot at the buzzer last night to give Enterprise the victory in that one. But I think North Summit rebounding really well here against Altamont. They've played them a few times and beat them handedly twice, and it looks like they're doing much of the same in this game. And Altamont coming off the loss against Beaver last night, and a tough team in Beaver, as they're probably the favorite now to win the state title. They were coming in to the tournament as it is, but probably really the favorite now after Wasatch Academy was beat. So I like what I'm seeing from North Summit, as they've rebounded really well, and I like the idea of North Summit Wasatch Academy matchup. And as Altamont has just made their way back on the floor here. 1:18 left until we get started with the second half.
Since 1933, the 7-Eleven Ranch restaurant has been committed to serving ranch-style home cooking made fresh from scratch every day. Over the past 85 years, we've been an active part of the community, supporting local events and basin athletes. And now we invite you to join us in a celebration 85 years in the making. Stop in today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Be sure to like us on Facebook for limited time promotions as we celebrate 85 years of serving you. The 7-Eleven Ranch Restaurant, 77 East Main, downtown Vernal.
Gonna get the second half started now between North Summit Braves and the Altamont Longhorns. North Summit with the 33-12 lead. As Altamont will begin with possession. Maxfield to Abbott, back to Maxfield, and she loses it. Grace Crystal on the steal. Kenny McQueen with it now. This isn't it to Hannah Lehman. Back to Brecklin Murdoch, who is coming down the lane. Missed the shot, and the ball goes out of bounds on the rebound. They'll say it is off of Maxfield's foot. So it'll be North Summit ball, as Grace Crystal will inbound. Grace Crystal gets it into Hannah Lehman, and she'll take a quick three. This one off the mark, long rebound, tracked down by Kyrie Langston. And she does very well on the offensive side of the ball, tracking down rebounds, along with the defensive side of the ball. One of the leading rebounders on this team with just under 5 rebounds per game, as Hannah Lehman gets off a three again, no good. Kenny McQueen with the rebound. North Summit starts out the scoring here in the second half. 35-12 now for North Summit, as this is O'Driscoll. Now Gardner passes it away. Kenny McQueen coming up with another steal here and getting 2 more points.
And as we've already seen, steals being a big part of this second half already within the first minute. We'll have to see how that plays out.
As Altamont pass goes out of bounds off of Hannah Lehman, and Cassie Rasmussen checks in for the Longhorns. O'Driscoll to the bench. As Maxfield to Abbott. Wide open for 3. Goes down low, though, to Rasmussen, and her pass taken away. Now North Summit on the other end, throwing it out of bounds. Ball going back to the Longhorns. So we talked about Altamont really needing to clean up those turnovers. And on their first few possessions here of this first half, they turned the ball over. As Taylor Norman has it. Rasmussen, now Maxfield inside the three-point line, as that is 2 points for Altamont. 37-15. Oh, did they call that one a three, actually?
I saw the refs show two to the.
So they will call it a two. So it's 37-14, and Brecklin Murdoch missing the shot here. As Maxfield going over to Gardner. As Gardner stuck in the corner. And double team throws it out of bounds. Off of Hannah Lehman, though. Number 21, Maddie Zeman, in the game for Altamont. As Altamont inbounding here with Zeman. And looks like they give Hannah Lehman a delay call, as she must have stepped too close to the inbounder. You got to keep a good distance away from them when they're inbounding, as Zeman gets off a shot and it's no good. Now Kenny McQueen coming away with the rebound for the Braves. McQueen right into the lane, gets fouled. Shot won't go, but she's gonna go to the line for two. And we've seen McQueen be much more aggressive here in this game. She has gotten a lot more opportunity to be aggressive, though, unlike last night when Enterprise was all over her, as the first free throw goes down. As McQueen will now have one more. And she goes 2 for 2. 39-14 now. As Altamont with the ball. 5:39 left in the third. Still a lot of time to play in this game. And here's another turnover. North Summit taking this one away with McQueen. And she gives to Grace Crystal. Back to McQueen. Down low, Kyrie Langston is wide open and gets 2 easy points for North Summit. 41-14. As North Summit looking really strong here against Altamont. And a foul on North Summit, sending Maxfield to the line. Brecklin Murdoch getting called for her first team foul in this half. Clock stops at 5:10 as Maxfield gets one. Gracie Gardner checks in for Altamont as Maxfield goes 2 for 2. And now North Summit ball. Kyrie Langston underneath, kicks out to Grace Crystal. Another 3 for Grace Crystal. Yes, Grace Crystal with 3 3-pointers. As this is a good game for her so far. Probably one of her highest scoring games of the season. As we have a foul on the rebound after the missed shot. We get number 21, Maddie Zeman.
Number 24 checks into the game for Altamont, Shelby O'Briscoe.
As it will be North Summit ball after the foul. And Zeman picks up her second team foul now in this half. As Kyrie Langston has it in the corner. Kenny McQueen, Hannah Lehman to Grace Crystal. Grace Crystal looking inside to Brecklin Murdoch. Her shot won't go. And rebound. Foul on the rebound. As Kyrie Langston picking up another one here. As that is Kyrie's fourth. And as all 5 subs coming in now for North Summit. As Zeman lost out of bounds, we'll say it's off of Crystal. And all 5 players check in here for North Summit. Gracie Watterson, Hadley Richens, Alyssa Richens, Tisha Richens, and Kenny Garfield. As Alyssa Abbott will inbound for Altamont. Gets it into Gardner. Her jumper no good. Rebound pulled down by nobody. Maxfield comes away with it, actually. And her shot is good, and she's fouled. She's going to go to the line and look for one more, as Maxfield has been a bright spot here for Altamont in the third quarter. Doing very well to be aggressive and draw some fouls on North Summit. Tisha Richens picks up her third. As Maxfield will have one. And she makes it. Number 10, Aspen Mitchell into the game for Altamont. As it is North Summit ball, Gracie Watterson has it. Garfield over to Alyssa Richens. Back to Garfield, Gracie Watterson in the corner. Coming off the screen, Tisha Richens now. Looking to go inside to Alyssa Richens. Alyssa Richens stuck on the baseline, goes back out to Tisha. A long shot for Tisha off the mark. As Maddie Zeman comes away with the rebound. Maddie Zeman into the corner. Is gonna have her dribble taken away by Hadley Richens, but it's out of bounds. So it'll stay Altamont ball. As it will be Aspen Mitchell to inbound. 3:33 left in the third. As Aspen Mitchell goes over to Abbott. Abbott back to Mitchell, three-pointer for Mitchell, no good, and rebounded by Gracie Watterson. As Kenny Garfield with it now, up to Hadley Richens. Hadley Richens double teamed in the corner, gives it back to Garfield. Garfield off the Watterson screen, over to Alyssa Richens, inside to Tisha Richens, and this pass taken away by Alyssa Abbott. Abbott on the break with Zeman and Mitchell, but nothing is gonna come of that. And Mitchell back to Zeman now. Mitchell to Abbott, back to Mitchell, and now Gracie Gardner. Gardner gives to O'Driscoll, back to Gardner in the paint. Her shot up, no good, and rebound pulled down by Tisha Richens. She's trying to go over to Hadley, and pretty much passed to herself there, I guess. And now Alyssa Richens put it on the floor, trying to go over to Gracie Watterson. Out of bounds off of Altamont. Clock stopped at 2:35 in the third. 44-19 the score. As the lob pass inside to Gracie Watterson. Got caught in the air and couldn't get a shot off. No, they called a jump ball, actually, so the possession arrow is going to stay with North Summit.
Number 15 for Altamont checks in Taylor Norman.
As North Summit inbounds it to Hadley Richens, and now Garfield is going to set up the offense. Hadley giving to Watterson. Watterson in the paint, gets fouled on her drive. As it'll be called on Alyssa Abbott, and that's her second. And now Alyssa Richens to inbound. Gets it into Tisha in the corner. Garfield. Hadley on the opposite arc, skip pass to Alyssa Richens. Alyssa Richens jumper short, and rebound falls to Maddie Zeman as she being harassed by Tisha Richens. Gives it to Abbott. Now Mitchell past the timeline for the Longhorns as she got caught with the Hadley Richens coming at her, and Hadley misses the layup. Garfield going back up with it, and she is fouled. So they called this foul on number 10, Aspen Mitchell, as that is Altamont's fourth. And Garfield at the line, shooting two, makes the first. Pushes the lead out 45-19 now for the Braves. As the second one no good, and rebound out of bounds off of Maddie Zeman. So North Summit will maintain possession. Alyssa Richens to inbound. Alyssa Richens inbounding quickly to Hadley Richens, and her three in and out, and rebounded by Gardner as Hadley was wide open there in the corner. As Gracie Gardner goes over to Aspen Mitchell. Now Taylor Norman back to Mitchell. Abbott at the top of the arc, driving right side, is gonna be fouled on her drive as they get Hadley Richens for the foul. Hadley second, and North Summit now with 4 team fouls. As Taylor Norman has it down low, going up against Watterson. And now Alyssa Abbott from the baseline, her shot no good, and rebound falls out of bounds off of Zeman, so it's North Summit ball. As Kenny Garfield bringing it up for the Braves. Going over to Alyssa Richens, and Alyssa not ready for that pass. Was running to the corner and went out of bounds.
In for Altamont is number 12 and 23. 23 is Maxfield. 12 is Farnsworth.
And Rasmussen also coming in for Altamont just now. As Abbott jumper is good. 45-21, 1:08 left in the third. This third quarter seemed to go by a little more quickly than our first 2 quarters, as there hasn't been as many fouls called here. So clock stopping less as Gracie Watterson gets inside and scores 2 more. 47-21. 48 seconds now in this third quarter, as this is Farnsworth. Back over to Abbott. Now Norman in the corner to Maxfield. Maxfield looking to go somewhere with it and finds Norman on the baseline. Norman will drive, goes up against Tisha Richens, can't get the shot to go, and Alyssa Richens comes away with the rebound, passing up to Hadley Richens, but Maxfield comes away with the ball. And now Farnsworth jumper short, rebounded by Alyssa Richens again, and she's gonna take it herself up the court. Gives it to Hadley in the corner, looking for Tisha Richens at the low block, and the pass is tipped out of bounds. It's gonna stay with North Summit. Clock stopped at 14 and a half left in this third quarter. 47-21 is the score, as Alyssa Richens gets inside, gets fouled. They'll say no shot though, it'll be on the ground, as they get Alyssa Abbott for the foul. So it'll be inbound pass now for North Summit, as this is Alyssa Richens to inbound it. Gets it in Garfield. Garfield looking down low. Tisha Richens shot no good, and rebounded by Alyssa Abbott. Altamont with a shot here at the buzzer potentially, but no, taken away by Hadley Richens with 2. She takes a 3 at the buzzer. This one would have counted, and it was close. Did not go down though, as it is 47-21 as we head to the fourth quarter. North Summit with the big lead over the Longhorns here at Sevier Valley Center in this consolation game. Winner moving on to play Wasatch Academy in the 5th place game.
Some of the most important diagnostic tools in medicine today are in the radiology department. At Ashley Regional Medical Center, there are many modalities to choose from: CAT scans, nuclear medicine, MRI, 4D ultrasound, digital mammography, bone density scanning, and a totally digital format. The technicians at Ashley Regional are highly trained and are well known for their great customer service skills. If you need an x-ray of any kind, ask your physician to send you to Ashley Regional Medical Center for quality results.
Back here for the fourth quarter now. Altamont will begin with the ball, as North Summit has put their starters back on the floor, and Altamont will have Maxfield, Taylor Norman now in the corner, Alyssa Abbott, Gracie Gardner, and Cassidy Rasmussen on the floor to begin the fourth, as Taylor Norman driving baseline, kicking it back up to Maxfield. Maxfield stops, goes over to Abbott. She is double teamed, and now Norman in the corner. North Summit has been playing a very aggressive 2-3 defense in this game, as Gardner with it, picks up her dribble, goes over to Norman in the corner. Now Cassidy Rasmussen, Emery Maxfield 3 on the way, as this one gets stuck. And how often do you see that? As this is just going to be a jump ball. The possession arrow is going to go to North Summit. And that is not something you see very often, as the ball gets stuck on Maxfield's 3. And Grace Crystal trying to get it out, totally missed. Hannah Lehman does clean it up though, so we will resume play. 7:20 left in the fourth. North Summit with the lead over the Longhorns.
After those threes, I would have thought she would have been able to hit it.
I know, yeah, she's already hit 3 3-pointers and she can't get the ball unstuck from the rim. North Summit with the ball, and Grace Crystal now giving it to Kennedy McQueen. As Hannah Lehman back to McQueen. Grace Crystal looking baseline. Has nothing, goes back to McQueen. Lehman, North Summit very content to just pass this ball around, and they run as much clock as they can here. As Langston has it in the corner. McQueen driving into the paint. Floater goes. North Summit approaching 50 now. It is 49-21 as Maxfield gets stuck with it and gets called for a travel. Number 21, Maddie Zeman checking in for Altamont. As Kenny McQueen with the ball coming off the Murdoch screen gets in the paint as she gets called for the travel. So it's going to go back to Altamont. Emery Maxfield with it. Maxfield over to Gardner. Gardner picks up her dribble after taking a few. And here's a steal. Brecklin Murdoch coming away with it as she is all by herself. Gets the layup to go. North Summit with the 30-point lead now, 51-21. And I feel like this is a very good rebounding game for North Summit after that close loss to Enterprise. And you look back on that game and just think could have went different in so many ways. And unfortunate North Summit to be on the losing end of that one as McQueen coming away with a steal and going to the line looking for one more. As they call Madison Zeman for a foul here. Shelby O'Driscoll checks in. That is Zeman's second. And now Altamont with 6 team fouls. Free throw no good. Rebound still being bounced around. And looks like we're gonna have a foul here on the rebound. Zeman and Murdoch collide, and Zeman getting called for a foul here, as that is her third, and Alyssa Abbott is gonna come in here for Zeman. So that is Zeman's third, and that'll put Brecklin Murdoch at the line. Now shooting 1 and 1. Clock stopped at 5:45 here in the fourth, as Murdoch gets the first free throw to go. So I have one more now. Man, 2-for-2 trip for Brecklin Murdoch, as Emery Maxfield will bring it up now for Altamont, as she tries to go over to Gardner. Gardner does a good job to keep that ball in bounds, and O'Driscoll now in the corner, driving, lost it to Kenny McQueen. I think just the biggest problem here for Altamont in this game is they've turned the ball over too many times, and North Summit's defense has been very aggressive, as here's a turnover for the Braves, back to Altamont. So I think these turnovers have really killed Altamont, and that's why they're down by this big score.
It'd be a much closer game if it weren't for all those turnovers, because that's where most of the points came for the Braves. They would break on a turnover and go down for the easy layup.
And Altamont has been getting good shots when they're not turning the ball over. They get quality possessions most of the time down the floor, but just far too many turnovers to really stay competitive in this one, as the score is 55-21. And a timeout on the floor right now. You're getting a good look at the North Summit band there. And that's your brother, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
As we'll come back out of the timeout, and it will be Altamont ball. Pretty good gems player, wouldn't you say? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Altamont with the ball. Gracie Gardner looking down low to O'Driscoll, and now Rasmussen is fouled. As Hannah Lehman gets called for the foul. Hannah picks up her second. North Summit now at 5 team fouls as Maxfield shot no good, rebounded by Cassidy Rasmussen. Cassidy goes back, out to Abbott, and now Maxfield at the free throw line. Can't get this shot to go either, as it will be North Summit ball. Kenny McQueen with it. Now Breckland Murdoch. North Summit playing slow here in this fourth quarter as Grace Crystal gets it inside, going over to Murdoch, and this ball being bounced around. Murdoch has it on the ground, somehow got that one to McQueen, and a three-pointer when it's all said and done. What an odd sequence of events there.
As it looked like it was going to be a turnover.
Yeah, I thought they were going to call a travel there on McQueen. On Murdoch. But it ends very well for North Summit, and now a steal here for McQueen, and she'll pull it up. And a timeout is going to be taken by North Summit, and mostly a timeout just to get their subs in here, get the starters off the floor, as it'll be a 30-second timeout. And Coach Holmes doesn't even want to huddle up. He just wants his starters out, as they know with 4:15 left in this fourth quarter, being up 58-21, they will be most likely advancing to tomorrow's game at 10 o'clock against Wasatch Academy. So it'll be North Summit ball coming out of the timeout, as Kennedy Garfield will have it. Kennedy Garfield, Hadley Richens, Tisha Richens, Alyssa Richens, and Gracie Watterson in for North Summit. And number 10, Aspen Mitchell, has checked in here for the Longhorns, as Emery Maxfield has it. Now Mitchell. Mitchell back to Maxfield, and Maxfield trying to get it over to Abbott. Pass too long, out of bounds. As number 55, Sarah Moore, coming into the game for the first time tonight. This morning. Score right now, 58-21. Clock running at 3:40. As Hadley Richens with the ball. Alyssa Richens at the top of the arc, looking down low to Tisha. Tisha, turnaround shot, no good, and rebound falls to Alyssa Richens, who puts it in for two more. North Summit at 60 now, as Altamont has struggled to score here. And another missed shot here by Mitchell, as North Summit has scored 9 in a row since the last Altamont point. As it is Gracie Watterson with it. Goes over to Tisha Richens. Tisha surveying the floor now. Alyssa Richens at the free throw line, looking inside. Hadley Richens down low, can't get the hook shot to go, and Gracie Watterson cleans it up for two. 62-21 now. North Summit on a good run here these last few minutes, increasing their lead, as Alyssa Abbott shot no good, and rebound to Tisha Richens. Tisha Richens will slow it down and give it to Hadley. Hadley Richens to Gracie Watterson. Watterson looking over now to Tisha. Opposite high post. Alyssa Richens, Hadley inside. Doesn't get this shot to go, and Altamont comes away with it. Alyssa Abbott giving to Maxfield. Emery Maxfield driving inside, shot up, no good, but a foul. And Emery Maxfield will be headed to the line, shooting 2 free throws, as they get Tisha Richens here for her 4th foul. And North Summit is at 16 fouls now, as Maddie Zeman checks in, along with number 20, Hannah Butterfield, and number 22, Lauren Mower. And now number 12, Kaisley Fransworth, coming in for the Longhorns, as the score is now 62-23 after Maxfield gets the free throws. Under 2 minutes to play now in this game. Gracie Watterson giving to Garfield. Garfield driving right side, kicks it out to Tisha Richens. Tisha skip pass to Hadley, bobbled it, but brought it down okay. Now Alyssa Richens to Tisha in the corner. Back to Alyssa on the wing. North Summit taking good time on these last few possessions as Butterfield coming up with a steal here for Altamont, as Hadley Richens takes it right back and had the fast break opportunity. Did not take it though, as she will now go over to Gracie Watterson in the corner. North Summit probably going to pass it around as much as they can here, as Gracie Watterson will take a long two. No good. And now Alyssa Richens inside, can't get the shot to go either. Rebound being bounced around. Gracie Watterson tracks it down for the Braves. Down low, Tisha Richens is wide open. Her shot off the mark, and rebound now falling to Butterfield. Hannah Butterfield trying to pass it up. Madison Zeman with it, lost it out of bounds, and they'll say it is staying with Altamont. Yeah, Altamont with the ball. Butterfield to Zeman. And Zeman taking a deep three here, short on it, and it'll be rebounded by Watterson. And now Garfield has it with 40 seconds left in the fourth. More games coming up here at the Superior Valley Center after ours. Don't go anywhere, as we will have the Altamont boys team taking on Enterprise boys. Enterprise played Layton Christian very tough yesterday, ended up losing in that one, and Beaver beating Altamont. That's how both of those teams got there. Winner of that game will move on to play 5th and 6th, and we'll play either Roland Hall or North Summit, and that game will be right after Altamont and Enterprise. As this game comes to an end, North Summit picking up a big victory over Altamont. Score 62-23 for the Braves, and a great way to rebound after that tough loss to Enterprise last night. And unfortunately for Altamont, their season does come to an end. But they are a very young team.
Promising future.
They'll have a lot of players coming back next year. They'll still be a young team next year, so they'll have quite a few juniors and sophomores on this team next year. So I think a promising young team next year for Altamont. And North Summit obviously showing they were the dominant team in this one, 62-23. They win it running away in the end. As we will get ready for the Altamont Enterprise game coming up at 12:50. As quite a bit of time till that game gets started. So once again, North Summit moving on to play Wasatch Academy tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the 5th and 6th place game. And that should be an exciting game. Can't wait for that one. So for Carson McKnight, who joined me today, and Zach Swenson, who ran the camera for us as well, I am Ty Crystal. We'd like to give a shout out to Hayden Blomquist, who is hopefully watching this game as he battles leukemia. Prayers and wishes out to you, Hayden, and best of luck in your future endeavors. Hayden, be strong. North Summit wins it over Altamont.